Okay, Ian, so just to start with some immediate reflections on this afternoon's fixture from you, please.
Yeah, it was a tough afternoon again for the lads, but they kept going well, I thought. It was a little bit disruptive when we brought the trialists on, but yeah, it was hard work for them. Hot afternoon, playing against a technically good team, and again a team that wins the ball, tries to win the ball that quickly. And again, for 45 minutes, which I said against Port Vale and Crewe, we did all right. What we can't do is sustain it through two things. Technically, we're not good enough, and physically, we're not good enough. And that's why they keep going and they keep asking questions of you, and we weren't able to answer them often enough. But we looked okay, particularly in the first half. And cause them one or two problems, not enough, but and I said to him at half time, well, this might be the scoreline next week at Evesham. Might be 1-0, hot afternoon, got to chase the game, got to see if we can get something out of it. We weren't good enough today, but we'll be good enough next week.
Well, that's of course the important thing. Today's
Of course.
not result. We could have had a couple of goals in the first half. The
Yeah.
skipper's missed a couple of presentable
Yeah.
chances. Not like he likes to pinpoint anyone in particular, but he'll know he should have done better.
Of course he will.
Yeah. And I mean, what encouraged you today? So I think obviously you said it was a good first half. You would expect the younger side to be able to stay stronger for longer, perhaps because they're training more. They're extremely fit. I think it's fair to say. That it's always going to be tough to stay with them for 90 minutes. Do you think? Is that fair?
Yeah, very much so. What encouraged me, you asked, some individual performances. Stubbsy was back to his best. I thought Jack Sherritt was terrific in midfield. The front players found it hard but kept going. I thought Ben, the left back, fitted in okay. Need more of him, but he's a potential signing for us. So there were a number of things that encouraged me. We're nowhere near where we quite want to be, Chris, for a few reasons. Personnel, in particular, we want a strong squad, which we haven't got. You saw when we made the changes. But there's a few reasons behind that. There's long-term injuries, two lads who are just coming back. One or two of the trials showed up okay. Some of them didn't do enough to warrant me keeping them here.
Yep.
So, listen, you're not going to see a proper Newcastle town for at least a month to 6 weeks. But we've got to get through that first period.
Yeah.
And
other clubs will be in a very similar position too, isn't it? It's not us bleating on about it's not fair.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, we bought one player in, Chris, and probably spoke to 40. And I'm not.
It's tough.
I'm not exaggerating. Yeah, it's tough, but it's tough for everybody. And Steve's been a great asset to the club, Steve Pardo, and he'll help us along the way. But we've all got to do our bit.
It sounds like he's got a lot of work to do from what you're saying, but he'll know that too. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Well, 2 more training sessions before that
Yeah.
competitive game against Evesham next Saturday. So a little bit more time to work with what we have and to welcome one or two others back, I'm guessing, before you name your starting 11 for next Saturday. So is the challenge still excite you, Neil?
Very much so. Real challenge, but we'll get there. We'll get through it. I can assure people of that.
Good man. We look forward to seeing you at Evesham next weekend.
Me too, mate.